Hello, my friends. Welcome to my lecture about variables. I hope in this lecture or lesson you will learn more about variables. Believe me, you will be very clear to understand all this stuff. Because someone talking about I cannot start programming or I cannot do it. It's really difficult. I didn't understand when I opened my computer. I'm going, yeah, like PyCharm or another VS Code platforms, but how I can code? Just I'm watching videos, lessons, lectures, but I never do it. Like I can never do it. So how I can do it? This is really easy. Just you need to know fundamentals of computer science, which is it will help you to understand what is going on before start to learn some programming language. Previous, you should understand the basic or the concept of these things. Then after that, meanwhile, so you can walk with your through your experience to become much powerful or stronger programmer or data scientist or anything like that. But first of all, you should understand basic of it. Okay? Let's start. In this lecture, we'll learn variables. The last lecture, I showed you procedure, function, and like the things which is we wrote there like println or console.log or the alert, which is in all programming languages are different syntax, but the way we should understand concept. The println or console.log or alert means like procedure, function or method. So between brackets we have parameters. In pseudocode we calling it like display, and between brackets we calling it like expression. So now I will explain everything clearly. You will understand. Variables, storing data in variables. Computer just putting it in memorize. So to memorize it, well, I will show you. Oh, let's go up. I just come a little more. Let's go up. Right, yeah. Computer programs instruct computers how to process data. Sometimes the data comes from a user, like when a game asks you to pick a difficulty level and music volume. So, which is, I mean, sometimes you can play with them, like you can increase your volume or you can change the difficulty, like easy, medium, or hard, like that, or you can put it five. But the program will be already like there, just it will not be like interact, so some kind of like it will be ready. Okay. Anyway, I didn't find good words to explain it. But the way, let's come down again. I told you data comes from a user. Like you will put their value, okay? Oh, what I'm doing, just go up. Sorry. Just I'm trying. I think the bug have little. Yeah, let's come down. Okay. Other times the data is already stored in the program, like when that same game starts off with a score of 0 and 3 lives. The means like it's already there before someone like some programmer already prepared it and provided it and put it there, and you just come in and starting to play it, like you cannot change it, you can interaction with it. So the way is that I think you understood. This is our three lives, and our score is 0. When you start the game, then it will increase in your lives. When you die, when you lost, it will decrease. Yep, here. Okay, let's get started. So I mean, let's start to understand what's going on here. Let's say here, either way, the program can store that data in the variables, right? Just putting it inside that. So it's roughly explaining. Each variable has a name, a value, and a type. which is like lists or the dictionaries, sometimes object, and it can change for all situation. Like, yeah, so also can be float, string, number, and anything like that. The value might change over time, and that's why it's variable, because it's just changing. Like, for some reason or cause, we should change. That game is using at least four variables, which is the first one, which is I showed you. Volume, the name of the variable is volume. The value for that is three. The type of it, like number, which is we already viewing. Difficulty, the name of the variable difficulty. The value here string, it's easy, and type of it like string. The another one score, again this is number, value zero, and lives, again number, and value is three. So now we will write in program, and I will show you. Many variables store numbers and strings like the ones above. Variables can also store other types of data like lists, dictionaries, and boolean, which is false true. So we'll start by learning numbers and strings and dive into advanced types later. First things first, let's write some code. Yep, let's do it together. Assigning variables. Okay, this is good point. Here's how we create a variable named score in JavaScript. So for that, what I want to do, it's not information here. I told you I'm getting all this information from Khan Academy, but I will append here some more things, which is in JavaScript, we have some way to make variables little different, usable. So which is we have const, and we have let, and we have var. So the const cannot change, and let can change in the conditions, like if else conditions, it can change. Let can change, but const cannot change. Okay, this is really a dive point, which is I will not explain deeply in depth, but just I will explain you now this. Our point here, variable name is score, which is in JavaScript we putting front of it, like front of score, var, like mean variable, but in Python we don't put in there anything. I will show you all of them. Let's start to do it. Let's open our point. Where is it? Okay, here it's ready. Now we'll say var, and after that, this is variable. Our variable name will be score, and we'll say it's equals to, because we are assigning to value now to our variable, it will be what? Let's check it again. Zero. We'll say zero. And after that, we'll put semicolon to here. And when we put, like when we click or the press enter, now our score will be there. Okay? I will really not do anything more to make your mind a little tricky or like mixed your mind. I will go step by step. So that line of code is called a statement, which is all of them. It's like one line, like a statement. All programs are made up of statements, and each statement is an instruction to the computer about something we need it to do, which is we can put there many more lines or the statements to print out it. Let's add the lives variable. Another variable name will be lives. Let's do it. Now we will say var, after that we'll say lives, and we'll say equals to our value, which is we are just assigning it to the lives. It's just 3, and we just putting here semicolon. Don't forget in JavaScript it's like that. So let's click enter. This is our another variable. Okay, now our code is using two statements to store two variables. Now computer really storing it. You're not viewing, but in some way we will print it and you will see the computer really storing it there in some discrete way. You cannot see it, but you'll see. So behind the scenes, the computer is storing each value in a different place in a memory, and the variables point at that memory location. Okay, now we will look for displaying variables. You already knowing something, but you should see for the variables how we can display it or the print it, because the last lecture you should so you would so you'd learned already about you had so you would learn already about how to print things, like we just put their value and we just when we press enter we saw our output, but in this way it will be little different because we'll write our variable names, which is okay. how do you how do we make sure the computer is actually storing those values in memory? You can ask it to display the values. As we learned before, one way to display on Khan Academy is with the println or console.log procedure. I told you I'm tagging this things from Khan Academy. Just I'm here like educator or the explainer, because I already knowing about JavaScript and Python because I'm interested with machine learning and computer vision. So I'm researcher of all this science. Also, just I'm explaining you, okay? Because I will teach you. I will teach you this all programming languages and basic of fundamentals of computer science. The println I will not use it, it's not working there. So, but console.log will be our best way to explain this procedure, I think, to put it. Now let's come down. I already put there some instruction to make it. It can be also good for you. Input CMD or VS Code editor I will use, but I will not use VS Code because it's just bugging my computer and it's freezing. So our first variable score zero. I told you we did it already. Our variable name score and our assignment value is zero. Our value here zero. For the live variables it's like three. Println. Let's do it with the console.log. So let's come back to the here. We already assigned to our value to the variable. Now let's print it out. We will try two-way or three-way. So the first one in JavaScript will be in two ways. Like the first one will be with the console.log, the another one will be alert, which is we will display on the screen. After that, I will show the in CMD command, like CMD command prompt with the Python programming language. Okay, it's two-way. Let's do it for first for the JavaScript. Let's start with the console.log. Console.log. After that, open your brackets and let's write your first variable name because we already store it in computer knowing the variable. But let's print it out. Score, we sang score, and let's close it and put semicolon here. Our score is here, variable name. Now we will display our variable. We did not write here zero. We just, or anything, score zero like that, because we have variable. And in this variable now, we will see our output, the value. Let's click enter. Did you see? This is zero. Our score variable value, it's already zero. You know it, right? You are really sure about that, right? Now let's try for the console.log. For the lives, you'll see there now output tree because our variable name is lives and we just assigned their tree value. So now we'll see our tree there. Let's say lives. This is our variable name. Let's close it and put semicolon there. Click enter. Did you see our tree here? First, our score 0, the another one is 3. Okay, let's try in Python. Let's say Python. Oh, what happened? Okay, I'm relaxed. I will be very quick for that. So in Python, we don't need to write anything var or const or let, anything like that for the represent variable. So we're just writing our variable name directly, like score equals 0. Another one, lives equals 3. And we don't need to put there semicolon. Python is really amazing programming language. Yes, JavaScript also very perfect, but the uses of them different. Also, on some way it's different. Let's click enter. Okay, how we can display it? That's easy. Like console.log, we'll put print, only print. Like print, after that, let's put our variable score and close it. Let's press enter. This is 0. Did you see? Our variable value, so for the score, it's 0. When we put here score, like variable name in the procedure or formula or like method or function, our variable name, it will work very good. So after that, let's say print, and after that, put our lives, and you'll see it is 3. In Python, it's working like that. Okay, in JavaScript, in another way, like we can do alert, like let's say alert, and after that, let's say score, and click enter. Did you see our 0 here? This is another way in JavaScript, like we can display on the screen like that with alert. So let's say okay, and do it with the lives variable, and close it and say enter. Now it says 3. That's good. I think you understood. This is very good if you understood clearly. Okay? Now, what we need to do? Clear console, and let's open another. Okay? Let's close it and bring it here. We can say also clear, but just I don't know why I did that. So, let's come here. We saw our outputs, right? Don't worry, really, we are going amazing. I hope you're understanding what I'm doing. When we instructed the computer to the println score or console.log or print or alert, so the computer has to look in its memory for the current value of that variable, and then once it finds it, it can display in the console. That's okay. Now, one another way I will explain you reassigning variables. Just think, first we represent or we recognize one variable with the value of like 5. So we just assign 5 to our variable name. After that, we should change for some reason or anything about it. Like, so we must change, okay? Our program have to so work different, like, so it needs like to change, okay? What we need to do, I will show you like how we can change this variable. In a game, the players score and their number of lives, so don't stay the same. That's right, always changing. The score typically gets up, and the lives typically go down. That means we need to be able to change the value of those variables later, right? We can reassign a variable to a new value using code similar to our initial assignment. Okay. Now our score will change from 0 to 5. Now we want to make this score 5. But remember, our first variable name, which is that, like score, like there, and this is 0. How we can change it? That's easy. Let's do it. Now the score variable is storing the value 5 instead of initial value of 0, right? Notice that when we reassign JavaScript, we no longer put the var in the front, So that's not the case in all languages. So it may be slightly different in other language you're learning. Here's a program that creates the two variables, reassigns to one of them, and displays values along the way. Okay, let's come here and let's do it practically to another platform like which is Google. So I mean instead we're just going there like that because all this working based on JavaScript the systems. So first try with the JavaScript, after that go Python. We'll do like that. Now the way what we will do, first we will display our score and lives, after that we will change score. Let's do it. So I will be very quick because last time you saw what I did. Var score, let's say score equals 0. Okay. After that, var lives equals 5. It's also okay, right? I think not 5, 3. Yeah. So after that, let's print them out like with the console.log. Console.log, let's say the score. I can show you the two things at the same time, but anyway, step by step you'll learn, okay? The first one will be 0, which is our score. Let's do another console.log and put our another variable lives and close it. Let's say enter, this is 3. Now we want to change it. Let's do it like what? Score equals 5. It's 5. Now let's say console.log, let's say score. Do you think it will work? It will say 5. Did you see? Our variable value already changed. So most of the time you'll see like that. We can change our variable values, the values of variable. Okay, so it will be very easy like that. We just first putting there and it's so some value, after that we're just writing there something and we're changing it. This is the way I told you, like just look for the step var score equals 0, after that var lives equals 3, then we just displaying here, just see our 0 here and 3 here. After that, we set score equals 5, and after that, we printed out. We saw 5. Our variable value changed. In Python, this is also same. Like let's do it. Python. Let's say for the score equals 0. After that, lives equals 3. After that, let's say print score. Let's do it at the same time. So then let's say lives. Let's do it 0 and 3. You see, just I did little different, but yeah, just I don't want to write again and again, again and again, so it will make me crazy. This is also tuple. You can see in the future, you'll understand. So now I want to change score. Let's say score equals 5. Now let's print it. At the same time, two of them, score and what lives. Now what you will see, 5, 3. Okay, let's do 5 and 3. Our first value changed because we changed our variable value here. It's for now 5. It's changed from 0 to 5. This is the way I showed you. What I did. No, it's way that I don't remember. But let's do it like I think I did like right here. Let's say clear. Right. After that, let's say Python again. Just made it ready and come here and do it also clear. Okay. I showed you our variable values. I hope you understood it clearly. So this program is interesting because it contains two lines that look exactly the same, println score or console.log, yet all of the outputted lines are different. How can that be? That's because the computer runs each statement in order and the value of the score variable changes over the time. Let's step through this program one statement at a time. So let's check what happens. The first step, var score, it's equals 0. Our value is 0. Our variable name is score, and description for that initializes the variable score to 0. After that second statement, we represented our another second variable named lives, and our value is 3, initializes the variable lives to 3. The println or console.log or alert or print. Our score here, which is our variable, we put it in the brackets, between brackets, which is our in our method or function or procedure. In that, now we displays current value of score 0. Another one is lives, displays current value of lives 3. And now we just going to change it. Score equals 5. Its score now change it. Like it is 5 because we reassigns the variable score to the value 5. After that, we just console that println or anything like that. We just displaying our variable value displays current value of score 5. This is the way. Okay, let's say when we are first developing a program, when often we often displace the value of variables to double check the state of the program. Are the variables storing what we think they're storing, or did our code do something unexpected along the way, which is the another way? For the pseudocode for variables, it's really same meaning. Now you'll understand pretty. So you can take a paper and you can write on it like that. Don't worry. It's just like the way we just doing it without computer. This pseudocode represents assigning a variable. So which is you can think like this is score. It's equals an expression over value here. So like we just representing or notating it like that. So whenever you see that pseudocode, it means that the variable or whatever is called a designer the value of expression. For example, you might see pseudocode like this: a will be like age, and expression will be 21 like that. Then this one will be like equal. That means the variable age is assigned to value 21. Let's look at the equivalent code in a fair textual language, which is in JavaScript, it's like var age equals 21. Our variable name age in value 21 in JavaScript. In Python, which is I showed you, age equals 21. This is function. No, sorry, this is variable, and then other one is value of it. So variable assignment is also a concept in block-based languages, which is you can see here set. We're putting here our variable like age here in this case, and our value 21, and initialize global. This is another for like block-based languages. Then we putting our variable age, and it's directing to like showing our variable value like 22. So, as you can see, the code to assign variables is very similar across languages. There are some differences, and that's why we use pseudocode to communicate the concept and not worry about the exact syntax. Check your understanding, okay? What's the pseudocode equivalent of this JavaScript? Var x equals 200 semicolon. This is our variable x, like our value here 200. We just assign it 200 to our x variable. Well, here how we can do it? Var x, then our reverse arrow, and 200. It's no, it's not. Let's take pencil. Let's do it like that. Now Another one, x equals, now this is looking like in programming. For x equals, no, it's the just semicolon is missing there. Another one, x reverse arrow 200. That's the truth. In pseudocode, it's like that. In programming language is like that, and also our semicolon here will be here. Now let's do practice, little practice questions, storing data in variables. Corey is experimenting with designing and displaying variables. Here's his code. Test one is the pseudocodes here. So, like our variable name test one, our value here 200, which is our assignment to on this variable 200. The display, it will be first 200, right? Let's do it step by step. It will be 200. So test one will be 200. And another way, which is we saying test two, like test 200. And but after that, which is we changing this test two and we again assign it to our test one to test two, which is our test one is already 200. So our value will be for test two variable again 200. Let's be clear. Here we set for test two variable our value, which is our assignment for the test two, it's 100. But after that, we changed it like test 1, which is our value 200, we just put it inside test 2, which is now if we display test 2, it will be also 200. Okay? And after that, we sang test 1. So we test 1 variable. It's just trying to mix, it's really easy. Test 1 variable have value test 2, which is our test 2 what? What is our test to? Already we know it's like this or 200. Which one? 100 or 200? We already changed it. It will be 200. That's all of them 200. Now I will show the in programming also if you want for be clear for that. Okay, let's look the answers if we have. Okay, our answer here. You can check it. Now what we did, let's do in programming. Right. So let's come here and let's say var test one equals what? 200, right? This is our pseudocode. Now we are in programming language. This is 200. Okay. After that, we will display it. Okay, let's display it. We can do it console.log and let's put there our first test one variable inside it and it will be 200. Okay. After that, test two will be 100. Okay, let's do it. Let's say var test two equals 100. After that, let's console.log print out. It will be test two. Close it and display. This is 100. Now the mixed places here, test 2 will be like test 1. Okay, our 100 will change with the so to the 200. Okay, now what we need to say, test 2 equals test 1. So we'll assign our test 1 value to the test 2. Now let's say test, like let's say var test 2 equals, like let's say test 1. Do you think it will work? Let's do it in another way. Okay, it works, don't worry. So now what we need to do, it's saying display test 2. Test 2 will be like also 200. Now our test 2 will get the value of test 1 variable, which is, let's do it, console.log, and let's check test 2 and display it. This is 200. You see that we can verify it, okay? It's easy. And after that, what it's done, like test 1 equals test 2. Oh, we're changing the position now. Now let's say our test 1, no, test 1 equals test 2. So let's say, okay, now let's say console.log our what test 1. It will be again 200. Test 1. Click enter. It's also 200. Let's do 200, 200. We can try it like that. Console.log test 1, test 2, same time, 200, 200, and the last one also 200. We assigned all of them. That's okay. In Python also, we can do it like that. Let's come down. This is the question's answer is like that. I showed you practice there also. The second one, Evelyn is making a race car simulation program. She accidentally gave two of her variables the same name. Okay, it's not a problem, but just you need to be correct for some point. Like you need to be sure about that. The first variable t, the second variable also t. So the first time I think she did like zero. After that want to she wanted to change it, but she just mixed this. So her brain like, oh, what I did, how I can change it, like, or she's looking for the answer. Anyway, this is 60. Like what? Let's show it in Python. Now, if you say t equals 0, and after that, if you say t equals 60, if you print it, we will see 60 because we already changed our value. So the variable changed, like the value changed in variable. Let's say, oh, what we doing? This is not 60, it will be t. Did you see? This is 60. It's easy, okay, to understand. Okay, I hope you clear for that. So it will be our pencil is black, let's say red, and it will be 60 for this point. Let's come down. Question 3. Let's get another black. Oakley is making a program to display events for the next 5 days. Here's a snippet of the code. Today it's 11. Okay, our variable name today and our value of this, which is our assignment for this value, the 11. Tomorrow it will be a variable name and our value is 12. Now display tomorrow. The first will display this. Let's display it like that. After that, display tomorrow. So display today. Okay, it will give us this output. Let's do it. Let's say, let's do it in JavaScript. Anyway, we're going from this way. Okay, let's say var today, today, it's equals to what? 11, 11, let's say 11, our first value. And so for variable, we assign the value of 11. And after that, let's say var tomorrow, let's make it clear, tomorrow equals 12. Let's say, okay, now first we will display console.log. Log. First, our tomorrow will be our tomorrow variable, and after that we'll display our today. Okay, let's do it. Console.log. What I did. Dot log Our today. Let's do it. It will give us this. Let's do it together, or let's do it in Python. Okay, it will be some way. So let's say D again coming Python, but before that, let's clear Python. And let's say our first variable it's today, like today equals 11, and tomorrow equals to 12. And after that, let's say print, but let's put tomorrow first. After that, today. The one, so the output will be 12 and 11. 12 and 11, like that. That's the way. So also some way you just putting down with the way, like what, come here and let's say between them you want to put something. You can say something like that, don't worry, okay? And after that, let's say point like that, it will give error. Why? Because we have what string between them. This is another way we cannot bring them down like that. Okay? Because this is the way. Like you can do something like that. Let's check it. Let's do it like that. Just say tomorrow. Okay? After that, let's say and like that. Let's try it like that. After that, put it there and go right. It will work like that. Why it's right now like that? Because we cannot bring in this way to down. This is another point. So I will show you all of them in some way. Now the last thing you should understand, let's come here and let's say here our tomorrow is here, okay? If you want to put between them some way, we can do it with the in Python with the format method. We can put their format and we can put them down to down like that. Anyway, this is the way I showed you. Don't look at, just look up. So we can do it with the format. So just in the future, you can do it for yourself. So because I will teach you everything. The point, let's come down. Where is our answer? It will be 12 and this one, the answer. This is answer. Let's come down. The question 4. Niela is making a program to display monster on the screen. This is her code for storing the monster's coordinates, which is x. And this is pseudocode x variable tagging 55 value, and we assign it here also 82 to on y. So variable name y, and our value is 82. It's also okay. If we, so what will be the value of the x after this code runs? It will be 55. It's really not crazy question. So it will be 55. Okay? It will be like that. The answer will be that. It's okay, guys. For today, it's more. The another lecture will be about math. We'll start for the learn little bit math to concatenate all this stuff together because computer means like math, calculator, fast and faster. Let's come up to here. Okay, this is our lecture variables. I hope you understood everything clearly for this lecture. I hope I'm very clear for you. The next lecture will be about math, and just follow me and you'll learn this programming languages or the data science or the data analytics or the robotics and machine learning, all this stuff with me. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good time. Have a good day.